Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
This is Banned From Ringside.
Tonight on the Banned From Ringside podcast, WWE unifies their tag team belts. We have a pay-per-view coming up, Double or Nothing at AEW. We're also going to talk about the best of the Super Juniors, that and a whole bunch more tonight on the Banned From Ringside podcast. That was a low-key intro.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah,
right,
ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Banned From Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Kayfabe Leota.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Hold on, I got more. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a jobber. Hold on. The many saints of Newsmark, kayfabing them softly. Flopland, Smoking Faces, Operation Dumbo Pop, Shoeless Job Jackson, and here's my favorite one. This is from Bo. Business bad? Fuck you, kayfabe me. Oh, you had a fire? Fuck you, kayfabe me. Place got hit by lightning, huh? Fuck you, kayfabe me.
Hey,
and sitting to my left, as always, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
So I was at work when I heard that Ray Liotta passed. So obviously, R.I.P. Ray Liotta. Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies of all time, of all genres. I don't give a rat's ass what it is, where it is. If it's on, I will watch it.
I mean, it's the most rewatchable movie of all time.
It's a fucking amazing movie, and it's a shame. I mean, outside of that, Ray Liotta has played other good movies as well, but Goodfellas is the one. So on that unfortunate note, I will ask the congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition from the Banned From Ringside podcast, volume 258, chapter 3, verse 14. And the good smart says, hashtag boo the heels. It's all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat, the Holy Trinity of BFR. We were talking about what we're going to talk about today, and it's really down to three things right now. And it's kind of good to just kind of, break it down to where it's just this, and this. Anything else right now can kind of upset the boat, at least on my end, because I'm really just trying to keep up with Best of Super Juniors. I finally caught up this morning, so that was a good thing. Outside of that, we got predictions. Double or Nothing. I'm kind of interested to see what other guys think, so we're going to have a good time for the next couple hours.
And out there in Portland, Oregon, we have Two Beer. Zach Pullman, what's going on, Two Beer?
BFR West
in the
house.
No beers, just tears today, man. I've been struggling since Tuesday. This school shooting thing's really fucked with me hard. Sober. A funny story about how it messes with your mind. I was working with my boss yesterday, and I pulled my weed pen out of my pocket to start writing with it. I didn't even know it was in my pocket.
Did
I thought
it work?
It was an actual pen. The whole day, no, it didn't work. It was hilarious. Also, on a lighter note, because the world needs comedy in the face of tragedy. Love Ray Liotta. Loved a lot of his movies. That dude, he's 67. I thought it was when he was younger or whatever because I saw him on movies. Literally always looks like he's wearing mascara. Always.
He always
has the most luscious eyelashes for a 67-year-old man ever.
Oh, you think so?
I guess.
I've never
I
really
haven't seen any better.
I guess I don't really notice eyelashes.
I don't either. I'll be the first.
I don't either. I just noticed them on him. It's like his most prominent feature.
Huh.
I was thinking the pock marks. I mean, I always thought that he looked old as shit.
Well, I mean, damn.
I don't know, man. He's got eyelashes like Rene Dupree's got a hog.
Okay, here we go.
Rene Dupree's got a hog, man. Let's talk about Rene Dupree's hog.
Okay, now see.
Should we get into Rene Dupree's hog?
You have just opened up Pandora's box. You realize this, correct?
Ray Liotta was a fucking stud. I love him. R.I.P. I don't get too bogged down with celebrity deaths or anything like that. Nobody really makes me too upset because I didn't know him.
He lived a better life than me.
Yeah, he was the lead in, like Jason said, one of the greatest movies of all time. It's just kind of fucked up. He wasn't even that old, and he was just in the Sopranos movie, and he was fucking great in the Sopranos movie.
Still haven't seen that shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
R.I.P. Ray Liotta. We are coming at you from the post-storm St. Charles, Missouri. It's been raining all day. It is nice and cool outside. Jason's wearing a sweatshirt, probably the same sweatshirt he wore that one time we were out here and it was 6 degrees and we almost died. But right now it's like 70. Fucking black people.
You know it, baby. You gotta say, if it ain't hot, it ain't me.
I got no shoes on. Wearing fucking, like, I wouldn't even wear a shirt if I didn't have to. So, you know what? Let's get right into it. Let's get to that 3 count.
Sans a sponsorship, we dive in.
Right. Let me say something racist real fast.
Right.
Oh, why don't we have any sponsors? Jason, what's the 1 count?
Yeah, right. He's about to say, that's why you don't have any sponsors. 1 count, we're going to go to WWE main roster, and obviously one of the big stories, minus more Naomi and Sasha speculation, was the unification of the tag team titles, where you had RK Bro versus the Usos on Friday Night SmackDown for the main event. Obviously, the Usos went over in a really good tag team match. I hate to give WWE credit for tag team anything, but this was really, really good.
I don't know who watched it and who didn't, but it was a good match.
No, it was really good. Post-match, after Roman's fuckery to cost RK Bro the match, he beats down Riddle. The Usos beat down Randy Orton. I think it was Jey Uso splashed Riddle on the table. He didn't look so good coming off of it, but damage done. So I guess
it was a post-match angle that you don't see very often on WWE television.
I have thoughts on that in 30 seconds. So obviously on Monday night, Riddle and the Street Profits opened the show, and my first thought was, if the Street Profits go heel, this would be the fucking greatest thing ever. Of course, that doesn't happen. But Riddle,
you want the Nation of Domination again or something?
No, they tease it, so I mean, just lean into this motherfucker. I mean, damn. Riddle says that Orton is out with an apparent back injury. So then my first thought there was, oh, this might be the seeds of the ultimate, or the, I guess not ultimate, but this latest heel turn from Randy Orton. I played hurt, you got pinned. This is how we gonna slowly but surely get us to an Orton heel turn on Riddle. This is just me speculating. I mean, we're gonna get there. It's just how we get there, I guess, is the better question. For me, I guess the takeaway is they're really leaning, they being in the WWE, is really leaning to the Bloodline, leaning into them hard. Anybody that beats either or should get a decent rub, especially the person that beats Roman Reigns, whomever that person may be. I said it was a long time overdue to marry the tag team titles. There's just not enough tag teams running around to begin with, not enough, even less that they really want to invest in. RK Bro, New Day, Usos. I can't think of any. I guess the new what's the Sheamus?
I don't know. They have a name?
They have a team name now. I just can't think of it now. It's not Fight Club. It's like Bro Club or
Sinn
something.
Féin?
No, it's something silly. Anyway.
Sinn Féin would be pretty cool.
No, it's not. I wish it was. It'd be better than what it was.
Actually pretty good.
But I guess the ultimate question is now, we have the Bloodline. That's fine. It's like the 4 horsemen. It's like Evolution, Shield, whatever you want to call them, blah, blah, blah. Now you need some, not even faction, but group of guys, group of baby faces to go against them. Cody's an obvious choice. Drew McIntyre's an obvious choice. We're missing a tag team babyface if RK Bro is breaking up. But I guess my biggest question is, once again, what next? Okay, we're here. Now what?
Zach, what do you think?
Oh, I don't even think they know. It's funny that you asked that question. They probably won't ask it until next week when they got to write TV. So, yeah, it's weird that they kind of put all their eggs in one basket, especially with, Roman having this thing, where he might not be around as much, which is just kind of a recent development. But I feel like the Usos are really good, but they're pretty volatile. Like usually Vince and wrestling promoters in general tend to avoid putting, belts on folks who they can't trust to be responsible. Usos had plenty of DUIs. Naomi is out of the company, suspended indefinitely. There's just it's just an interesting dynamic. And
do both Usos have DUIs, or is it just the one?
I think it's just the one.
Yeah, I got a shithead brother too.
I know. I think the one more than the other, but I think
we all do.
I think
I'm not the
both might
shithead
have
brother.
one. Yeah.
No, I thought one had 3. Neither here nor there. Yeah. Let he without sin cast the first stone.
Oh shit.
But yeah, go ahead, Zach.
Oh, that's about it. I basically the thing you have to think about, or the thing that they should be thinking about, is the future, like Jason said, and they often don't tend to do that. And what are we building up to? Like, why are we making Roman so strong? Why are we making the Bloodline so strong? Is it just for the sake of them being strong, or do we actually have a plan to topple Goliath?
Well,
right?
like we always say, all roads lead to Roman. So Roman is going to face Roman at SummerSlam.
Jesus Christ.
Roman's going to go over, of course, because Roman always wins. And Roman are going to face the Usos for the tag belts. Roman and Roman are going to win.
Okay.
I actually think that this was a pretty big. I thought that Monday night was a pretty big deal for Matt Riddle, because there's the opening of the show. There's the Central Time. There's the 9 o'clock hour on the show, or the 8 o'clock hour on the show, and then there's the finish of the show. And those are the 3 big spots where they always put their biggest stuff, right? Riddle came out and cut such a heartfelt promo. Like, it literally looked like he was getting ready to cry. Now, maybe he was getting ready to cry, but if that was all kayfabe, then he's a hell of an actor. I thought that was a tremendous babyface promo to get the crowd behind him, to talk about how much he loved Randy, and that was the end of the segment. That was pretty big for Riddle, I think. I think what we're going to Riddle's going to be Roman's next opponent.
Stole my thunder.
And I hope that's the case, because he's earned it. He's definitely over as a babyface.
Oh, he basically was like, look, I'm going
to get my revenge. Yeah, he said, I'm going to get my revenge. I think that they're going to put him down. I think it's possible. I think we're going to get Orton versus Reigns at SummerSlam.
Stole my thunder.
I think it's possible that Orton goes over. To tie John Cena at 15 championship reigns. Is that right? No?
No.
Did I get it wrong again? What is it?
Cena and Flair are tied at 16. Orton, I believe, is at 14. This would make number 15. So he'd have to win it again down the line.
And then they can fight in, WrestleMania 60 or something when they're both old men.
Oh, that'll be in Saudi Arabia.
You motherfuckers.
I think that Riddle's next in line for a title shot.
Agreed.
And which could be a really fun match, because Riddle can do all sorts of shit, and Roman Reigns is really good at Superman punches. I don't know if you've ever seen him do a Superman punch, one of the hardest finishers that there is out there. But
this here.
And I think that Orton could take it from Reigns. No chance. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I'm not saying that there's no chance, because it's wrestling, and it's WWE. So I'll double down on that shit. Weird shit can happen. The way, if I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, and I could be reading them wrong, take it for what it is, Rock and Reigns is, I guess, their end game, at least for Roman Reigns. Whether he has the title or not is the question. He has to cross paths with Cody first, okay? If he could get past Cody and have the title, then I think he takes it all the way to WrestleMania. He beats Rock, and then, you can call him the GOAT or whatever you want to call it. I just don't think Orton wins because Cody lies in the wake. Riddle, Orton, Drew McIntyre over in England, I think, are the next 3 guys in line. I would hope they would be smart enough not to give Cody the Money in the Bank, because he's right there. He's dealing with this the Seth Rollins angle, which is probably one of their best angles, arguably the best angle they have going right now. Once he gets past that, he will be in line for a top title, whether they break him up or not. I don't even know. Don't even really care at this point. It would probably make sense for Cody to win a title if they break them up. Harder for me to see Cody winning the undisputed title off of Roman, but that's another story for another time. But if I had to take the guess of who would do it, my guess is Cody first. Orton, it makes sense because he's a 14-time champion. It wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility for it to be done that way, but I mean, it's got to be Cody, right?
I don't know. I mean, if you're Vince, like Orton is like that video you have saved on Pornhub that'll always get you to finish before you're too late for work. Like, you can rely on it. It's there, works every time. It stands up to the other videos really well. It's a high quality, high production video. Doesn't ever seem to age, and if it does, it ages gracefully. That's Randy Orton. So I totally see that.
I know this is an audio medium, so I'll just tell you that I'm just sitting here nodding. I know exactly which one he's talking about. Exactly which one.
We all got him.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what the funny part is. I just start laughing.
It's like, shit, fuck, I only got 5 minutes, I can do it.
Do I got my keys? Great, let's do this. We ain't got time to waste.
Femme, dom, boy, slut. Wait, hold
on. Okay, let's switch gears for 30 seconds. Becky Lynch, apparently, well, I shouldn't say apparently, has been added to the Bianca Belair title match. So now we got a 3-way, the Bill Vegas special for Hell in a Cell. Is that a Hell in a Cell match, or is that just a title match?
I'm looking it up right now as we speak.
Okay, so if it was me,
they usually only have 2 Hell in a Cell matches.
I was just getting ready to say, this doesn't feel like it should be a Hell in a Cell match. If it was Becky versus Bianca, then I would say, yeah, throw that shit down. If it was Asuka versus Bianca, I would say, leave that shit alone. In a 3-way, I'm not sure what they're getting ready to do, to be perfectly honest at this point. I would almost prefer them keep it as a singles. Maybe Becky takes the L so you can break it off and do Asuka versus Bianca.
Right now on Wikipedia, all we have is Cody Rhodes versus Seth frickin' Rollins in the Hell in a Cell match. Bianca, Asuka, Becky Lynch is just a triple threat match. Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP in the 2-on-1 handicap match. And Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens in the singles match. So I guess I read it wrong. I thought they were saying they were going to have a match in a Hell in a Cell. I guess they were saying they were going to have a match
at
right.
Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Okay,
this is why we shouldn't have a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell.
Your lips to God's ears, man.
Well, I mean,
it ruined the gimmick. It ruined the match.
When they did all the matches in the Hell in a Cell, that's when I think it finally jumped the shark. It should be just for the pinnacle feuds. It's a blood feud. It's got to end.
It shouldn't be a pay-per-view. It should be. They should have a Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam.
Agreed. It shouldn't be a pay-per-view. I agree with that totally. That's where you kind of ruined it even more.
Imagine if AEW, everybody's clamoring for more AEW pay-per-views, and they just decided, we'll do Stadium Stampede every year, and every match Stadium Stampede match. Garbage. I personally like the Stadium Stampede.
I was about to say, I might have to dub that for forever just to hear you say that over and over again. That's going to be a drop on my house once they fuck it.
I do like the idea of a Bianca Belair, Asuka, Becky Lynch triple threat match, though.
Yeah, I would be lying if I said I didn't like it.
I mean, especially after we saw, we know what Asuka's capable of. We know that Bianca and Becky Lynch I wouldn't say they stole the show at WrestleMania because WrestleMania fucking ruled this year, but it was a very, very good match.
One of the two matches that I would accept for match of the night.
Yes, or match of the weekend even.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that match.
No, it's interesting that, like I said, it's interesting that Becky's been brought into it. So I'm curious to see how that dynamic works. Really, from there, I just think the match it should be pretty good. I'm not going to sit up here and make any high fucking claims about the shit. Anything if I'm going to claim high on Cody and Seth should be another barn burner of a match. That's the one I'm obviously looking forward to the most. From there,
we're also going to get. Looks like we're going to get Walter versus Ricochet for the IC.
Jesus Christ!
Do you know the IC belt has not been defended on a pay-per-view since the last WrestleMania?
Whoa.
Not the most recent one. You mean
that's
14 months ago or whatever?
That's what I read.
What?
That's what I read. Now maybe it's wrong. It could be very wrong. I have no memory when it comes to shit like this.
That's what I'm saying. I remember a lot of Intercontinental Championships on SmackDown.
Walter's got to take that from Ricochet, right?
Fucking A. He better.
Okay.
I'd say, look, I love Ricochet, but we got to move along. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Did anybody watch the Veer Mahan, Jerry the King Lawler segment?
Did Veer crush him?
He crushed the Mysterios. He was getting ready to crush Lawler. Lawler he's like Uncle Junior in those later seasons where like dementia's really getting him, you know? Call back to the Godfather episode last week.
Shit.
Judgment Day keeps teasing more members. Who do you think that Judgment Day should bring on as a member?
Finn Balor.
That's good. Did we talk about this last week?
That was my when they had the last pay-per-view.
I'd ask Zach, but he has no idea.
When they had the last pay-per-view.
It's probably why he's sober this week.
It's definitely in the running.
I said I thought Finn Balor was going to turn on AJ at the pay-per-view, and it ended up being Rhea Ripley, which is fine.
Finn Balor's turning on everybody.
Yeah, right. I just don't think that there's any reason for Finn Balor and AJ to be as a team. They're not pushing a Bullet Club from WWE. Finn has really nothing going on. I mean, zero. You know, they let Austin Theory take the title off of him after beating him multiple consecutive weeks.
Does that mean? But if Finn Balor joins Judgment Day, the Judgment Day,
whatever.
If Finn Balor joins the Judgment Day, does that mean he has to wear the demon makeup every single week?
No. I know how much you love it, but we're going to spare you that. We'll just have him in the cool little jacket. He'll say some, you know.
Well, they should have Boogeyman too. Bring in Boogeyman too, because Boogeyman and Boogeyman and the Demon look the exact same.
No, they really don't.
Bring in Tatanka, have all the cultural appropriation.
Oh, Jesus!
What's the cultural appropriation for Finn Balor?
He's Irish.
Yeah, but what's the cultural appropriation? He's Irish. I take offense to that.
People talk about the dreads from the Demons being a cultural appropriation.
He just looks like the Predator. So what do we think about LA Knight being introduced as Max Dupree on SmackDown with a gimmick as being a male modeling agent? Where are we at on this?
I heard that they were doing this on SmackDown tapings, dark matches, whatever you want to call it, house shows, blah, blah, blah. Why would you change the man's name when you changed it from LA Knight already? Wouldn't LA Knight be a suitable name for somebody that has a male modeling agency?
Totally get it. LA Knight is a great name for that dude. Max Dupree's not bad, though, either.
It's okay. It's just kind of like, come on, guys.
This is what I want, though. I want, I just want something. Just give me something to sink my teeth into. So, I mean, LA Knight's never going to main event WrestleMania. LA Knight's never going to be a huge star in WWE. Maybe he will, but probably not. Let him run for 6 months as a guy named Max Dupree, and let him get a bunch of male models. That sounds okay to me. Now they'll fuck it up, no doubt. But I mean, I'm okay with it.
Okay, here's the good part about. I'll just say who I think. I'm just going to call him by his name. I'm going to call him Eli. I'm going to call him Eli Drake. Is that he could talk, and that's where they put him in. Okay, good on WWE. You put somebody in a position where they can do well, but now you gotta push it. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense. WWE is so devoid of managers outside of Paul Heyman. There's really nobody else. Even if this is on a lower level, mid-card level of guys where he can be the voice of those guys, I would rather have that versus nothing at all.
I'd rather just grab an underling. I mean, remember how much we liked, and when I say we, I mean me. Remember how much me liked Breezango? Like, those guys were fucking hilarious for a while. Am I wrong, Two Beer?
No, they were great. Fashion Police was like my favorite segment of the week every week.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
You two did love you some Briganzo back in the day. There's no question.
We need Max Dupree to just create a stable called Stable of Stars and just bring in like Johnny Carson impersonators to just randomly hit people.
Whatever, man. I'm down with it all, man. Give it to me.
I'm not saying that Max Dupree needs to have a stable that rival the Bloodline, but I mean, if you're going to do it, then, at least lean into it. Get a guy or two over.
Yeah, make him be this stupid gimmick, and then make him be super fucking mean, like after a match or something.
Whatever.
And then like every week he comes back, he's like, I did, like he's all nice again. Like that's the kind of heel that I want. That's certainly the kind of SmackDown heel that I want. That just reeks of SmackDown to me. Remember the Dude Busters? Like, I love that shit, man. Give me all that stupid sports entertainment shit, and I'm here for it. Before we move off of the main roster, yeah, there's nothing here. Let's just move off the main roster. Let's go to the 2 count.
And we're good.
2 Beer, what's the 2 count?
2 count, we'll do predictions. We've got a AEW pay-per-view coming up this weekend, but we have the go-home show for Dynamite. We'll have the go-home show for Rampage tomorrow night. But we started it off hot with Wardlow and Sean Spears in a steel cage with MJF as the special guest referee. So without going into too much detail for the sake of brevity, imagine how you would have put this match together in order to successfully set up the pay-per-view match of MJF versus Wardlow. And also imagine all of the spots that you would do in order to make Wardlow look like a giant monster superstar. And also work around the logistics of MJF being the referee. How's he going to win? They did it all perfectly. It was just exactly what it was supposed to be. There was no surprises here, but I popped for each and every little thing that they did, like Wardlow busting the handcuffs and Sean Spears hitting MJF with the chair and Wardlow continuing to just absolutely decimate security guards, including throwing one into the nether world, into the cage and then down off the side of the apron under the ring.
Looked pretty dangerous, actually.
Destroyed him. Yeah, it looked really bad. It's so funny because the juxtaposition of like Bryan Danielson getting his leg stuck in the ring ramp for like 10 minutes, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is terrible!" Like the announcer's like, "Oh, I hope he's okay," and then like Wardlow just throws that dude so hard and so far, and they're like, "That was awesome."
Chucked him. What you think of the segment, Jason?
That poor bastard. I was at Tinder's house last night watching it, and we got to that point. I agree with everything the 2 Beers said. I mean, you knew we were going to get the match. How were you going to get there? Sean Spears hitting MJF, check. Wardlow breaking handcuffs, check. Double check, as far as I'm concerned. That was the one time I was just like, oh shit. Okay, see, you motherfuckers are just really hitting it with all cylinders when it comes to Wardlow. There's the only time I even had a problem, quote unquote, problem with it is that I didn't see him get booed by Long Island. Outside of that, everything they've done with Wardlow has been perfect up to this point. Now you've got this motherfucker over here literally like busting handcuffs and shit. Basically, I could have been doing this anytime type shit. It's just been a very well done story. And now we've gotten to the point where the payoff is here. Even the fact that he hasn't really gotten his hands on MJF, which is always one of my big things, is that if you've gotten this story and you built it up to this point, I don't want you to give away anything. I don't want Wardlow to get his hands on MJF until the physical match itself. They got that right, too. It's been very well done.
Yeah, this was a perfect segment. Again, this story has been told. You know, I'm an English major. Maybe I should come up with a different term. Perfectly. It's been so fucking good, and last night was no exception. I also popped when he broke the handcuffs. It seemed like right before he did, I was like, oh, he's gonna break the handcuffs, and then it was just so satisfying. The only thing, and this is a minor quibble, but I really don't like unprotected chair shots. I think that we know way too much about what unprotected chair shots to do. MJF and Shawn Spears and Wardlow, they're all adults and they can make their own decisions. It just, I kind of go, when Shawn Spears hit MJF.
Oh, he smoked him
with the chair. Oh yeah, he smoked him, and there was no hand up.
Nope.
There was nothing.
Nope.
And MJF seem to be fine, but there's lots of guys who seem to be fine after they get concussions, and then it comes to rear its ugly head later. So if you guys are listening, do whatever you want. I guess you guys got your own fucking insurance, but it's your guys it's your guys' decision. It makes me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, I was just like, when he hit him, I was just like,
knowing what we know now, and maybe it's just because we never see him, and we used to see him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just assumed it was a gimmick chair, like it was like cookie sheet material or something.
I hope so.
To where it makes a loud noise.
That was the other word. That's what I was trying to think of. If it was like a trick chair, or like you said, a gimmick chair where it's more give, I guess. Like you said, I don't know.
It's like one of those things, though.
Seeing it, I just was not a huge fan of it.
But that being said, it was a perfect segment. I can't wait to watch the match. Cannot wait to watch the match, man.
I mean, this thing's been told for years. They've been telling the story for years.
Almost since the beginning of AEW. I mean, probably quietly. Like 6 months after is when Wardlow showed up, and he was just the big dumb guy that hung around MJF, and then they slowly, really turned him into a star. And in turn, I mean, they did such a good job building up MJF that in turn, it's like everybody's, MJF got up to the top, and then he's pulling the other guy
by
up.
Proxy, Wardlow got himself over.
It's what you want out of pro wrestling.
Yeah. Now, Wardlow's literally a Goldberg that can talk and fuck chicks good.
All right.
I mean,
dudes, I don't know what he's into, but I don't know. He should have a t-shirt that says,
femdom, tiny boy. I don't know.
Slapping geeks and clapping cheeks, but yeah, he's legit. But all right, so moving on, we had another real bang up segment. I think this one is a little polarizing for some folks. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about it. But we had CM Punk and Hangman Adam Page come out for a face to face, and Tony Schiavone is doing the interview segment, and CM Punk's telling Hangman essentially his side of the story is that this is not personal. He respects Hangman as a wrestler and as a champion, but he wants this title, and it's just business, right? He's very kind of stoic about it, very logical. Hangman is the opposite. He's very emotional, and basically says that he doesn't appreciate what CM Punk has been doing since he came into AEW, does not think that he is good for AEW, and is not defending the title. He's protecting AEW from CM Punk when he defends the title. So kind of saying in things in a similar vein to what MJF said in the recent feud, but MJF was like very much in character. It's actually a lot more like what Eddie Kingston was saying, where, you know, basically like there's a lot of people that don't like you, Punk. There's a lot of people that are not happy to see you in AEW. And, you know, there might be some truth to that. I don't know necessarily. There could be some truth with some younger guys like Adam Page. Like, this is really the company of guys like Adam Page, right? They are the future. Punk represents something entirely different, but he does generate a lot of eyeballs, a lot of revenue for the product, and I'm just kind of interested to see how much of that, and you know, you never really know currently how much of that is an accurate representation of like how Hangman feels, or whether or not that's just the story that they're telling. But there is no babyface heel dynamic, and I think this segment left some folks confused. I think maybe because of a lack of clarity between babyface and heel, and maybe a lack of awareness of kind of like the I don't know, the more subtle aspects of storytelling that is often lost. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
It left me a little confused. It seemed like they fast forwarded. It seems like Paige fast forwarded to a point in the story that the audience wasn't necessarily privy to. Like, I thought it was interesting when he said, so now I'm here to defend AEW from you. And he kind of alluded to the stuff, and I'm sorry, Zach, I was back checking on the baby when I missed it, so stop me if I'm repeating things that you said, but it kind of seems like this is something that MJF hinted on. This is something, I mean, Eddie Kingston didn't even hint on it. Like, he just fucking straight up said it. He was like, nobody likes you back there. We all know what you're like. And truth be told, once Punk left wrestling, before he came back, he was a total fucking cocksucker about the wrestling business. Like, he kind of poo-pooed it. He kind of, I won't say that he made, he didn't make fun of wrestling fans or anything, but he kind of made it seem like it was beneath him a little bit. And for Hangman to come out and say, you know, I wish that Hangman would have said, you weren't here from day one. You waited to see until it worked. Then you came in and took a huge paycheck, while there were guys like me and the Bucks and whoever else, and we were here building this thing from the beginning. I wanted to hear Hangman say that. For Hangman to say,
you want him to be more explicit and not like imply the stuff, but just actually come out and say it.
Yeah, and for him to say, fuck, Zach, you just fucked me up, man. I was just getting ready to say something very profound. Just pretend I said something very profound here.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
That's deep, though.
Thanks, man. I wish that Hangman, like he said, was a little bit more explicit about it. I wish that, I don't know. Go ahead, Jason.
I guess you kind of said what I was thinking about.
I'll remember it here in a second.
Kind of jumping ahead in the story, because at first when he took the mic, he was like, you know, I should just come out here and just roll the pipe bomb out like you did. You know, this is, you know, the famous place that you had your pipe bomb. And I was like, okay, you know, we're going to see a little Adam Page, you know, get a hard on the way into. Go ahead.
Hold on, I remember it. When he said, I said I was going to embarrass you, I didn't mean at the pay-per-view. I meant here. It's like, dude, if you're going to say that to CM Punk, you better drop a pipe bomb over your own, or at least a promo that is going to be like, holy shit, I can't believe this guy just said it. And Page just doesn't have that right now. He might have it later. He just doesn't have it right now.
No,
he needed to like pull out like a picture on the Jumbotron of him like cream pieing AJ Lee. Just like that's the kind of shit you got to do whenever you lay out a line like that.
I mean, maybe not a cream pie, maybe just like a femdom, like boy toy type. Oh shit! Wait, fuck! God damn it! Can we hold on? Let me go back and delete that.
Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul.
Okay, Jason, go ahead. I think I took it out.
Wow, Jesus Christ! Now I lost my train of thought. That's where I guess when he says something like that, I'm gonna embarrass you right now. Okay, that's like pulling out a gun and not ready to shoot. If you're gonna pull out the gun, you better be shooting. Okay, if you're talking about a pipe bomb, you better drop a pipe bomb. Neither either or happened. It was just kind of like he rambled in a circle. He hinted on some things. He never really said much more than that. The physicality kind of was at the end because it felt like Punk got into his head a little bit more by like, you're just going to shake my hand. Win or lose, you're going to shake my hand. And basically he should have just been like, fuck you from the jump. If you're going to say some shit like that, either you need to cut a bomb-ass promo, which he can do.
Who?
Adam Page can cut a good promo.
No.
Yes, he can. For whatever reason, he decided to back off the ledge and played nice.
Here's the thing. I think that I'm in the minority on our page, Friends of BFR. There was a discussion about this earlier today, I think. I agreed with John Lemonade, who said that he has enjoyed Hangman Page's title run, which I have enjoyed Hangman Page's title run too. I think that he's had nothing less than the 4-star match. Even his Lance Archer Texas Death match, I enjoyed the fuck out of, even though it was only 13 minutes. The guy can fight. The guy can't really cut a promo. I mean, he was completely outmatched last night, and Punk barely even did anything. It's like all Punk had to do was stand there, and Hangman Page was stumbling over his words. It was not what you want out of, and listen, like, it's not like Omega's the craziest promo in the world either. I mean, they have plenty of guys that can cut promos. That's just not Hangman Page's thing. I love that.
Page is better at it than Omega. I think Page is actually pretty good. The cowboy ship promo was phenomenal. He's like good in his own way. I actually think what you said actually enhances the story of Page looking awkward next to CM Punk. I think that's the story they're trying to imply here, or I think that's part of the story that Adam Page is trying to tell. Is he used to feel insecure in regards to Kenny Omega because he was his partner. Kenny Omega's like, best bout machine. Adam Page hadn't quite proven himself fully, and now Adam Page is feeling insecure because of CM Punk, because he gets all the adoration.
Yeah.
Where Page is like, carrying the company.
Yeah. I mean, so. It like, even when they did each other's finishers while the other guy was out there. So Adam Page does the go to sleep, and CM Punk just stands up and applauds. He's like, I love that. He's like, that's such a great show of respect. But when CM Punk did the buckshot lariat, Adam Page has to come down and act all tough. He's like clearly insecure about it, right? And CM Punk is clearly secure about it. That's good story.
That's why it's business, it's not personal.
That's a good story. And CM Punk saying it's business, it's not personal. If that's a story they're telling, and if that's on purpose, I mean, fucking A. Like, that's brilliant shit.
No, I think that is kind of it's not overt. It's an underlying story.
To steal a line from my good friend Jason Cornelius Bell, we got to see how it plays out. Because if it plays out to where Punk wins, and then Page goes on this, he like goes into the deep, and all of a sudden he is too overwhelmed by all the shit he gets. I think it was Zach that said on Friends of BFR, like, it's this anxious millennial way of acting. It's like, then okay, like, I'm into it. I just thought that Page's promo last night just fell a little flat.
No, it was convoluted.
Yes,
it was not the best. It kind of went in a couple different directions. Definitely wasn't not the best.
It wasn't like Cody Rhodes' last AEW promo, but it was definitely like, what the fuck?
He took 5 too many mgs of Adderall an hour before he went out there. I've done it before. That's when I start slicing my drive, dude. That's when I start slicing my drive. I've been there before.
That's so funny. Yeah, you mentioned that insecure. I remember I was 19 whenever I met Tara, and she was She just turned like 25, or she's about to turn 25.
Do we have Love Connection music for this?
Cuckoo, Mrs. Robinson.
I just got just a good example. Like, we were on a float trip. Tara's smoking hot, just like bikini, just like the whole thing. And like, I'm like 19, right? Like, her first like real girlfriend. And like this like older dude was just like, you guys together? And I was like, yeah. He's like, man, you were one fucking lucky dude. And I bristled, you know, like, 'cause I felt, you know what I mean? And just got upset like about it. He's like, no, he's like, not like saying anything. He's like, I'm just serious. He's like, good for you. Like, he was like an older guy. Like, I thought he was like, you know, trying to like steal my girl or something. That's what Adam Page like feels like to me. Like, in that sense, like the championship and the company is like, you know, he feels protective about it. So
he feels protective about it. And CM Punk came in late.
And
late
you
to the
usurped
game.
the throne.
I just wish that they would have built up a little bit more to that promo, because that promo probably would have carried a lot
made more
punch.
sense if they'd have done. There's a piece missing.
Yes, exactly. It's like I missed a week of AEW,
Right, and something happened, and
right.
now you come back, and now they're talking like this.
All right, yeah. What's next, Zach?
Let me take a look. Sorry.
It was Kingston and Mox versus Private Party.
It was, yeah, and this was a pretty good match. Pretty similar to what we're seeing with Moxley and Danielson. With, I guess the idea is they teamed up because Danielson's leg, you know, kind of had him out of commission tonight, and you know they put the boots to Private Party. They gave him some offense, and then they did like the double submissions, you know, the stretch muffler and the bulldog choke, and but basically what this added up to was a schmoz for the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club to kind of kick off, you know, schmoz to heat up their upcoming match at Double or Nothing. So this was after Jericho threw the fireball in the face of that just random guy, right?
Yes. Jericho Appreciation Society was walking behind and he threw the fireball. Like Jericho seems, I guess he's in as a, like, what would you call it? His David Bowie, like, Nazi period or something. Remember when David Bowie like thought he was a Nazi or something? Like, I don't know what Chris Jericho's doing with the wizard thing. I think it's funny that he calls himself the wizard. I do think it's funny, but it is not. He's not getting this over. It doesn't seem like he's getting it over.
I think it's just self-aware at this point. I think he might. He might get it over.
It's pretty funny that he calls himself the wizard. I'll admit it.
It's Jericho. He could easily get this over. It wouldn't surprise me not one bit. You know me. The only thing I would say about this whole thing is it's really about Private Party. When they first got here, I thought they were on the point at somewhere. We're 3 years in. In 3 years, I would have thought Private Party would have been the champs in some point in 3 years, and they're not even close. That was my takeaway from this whole thing.
I really haven't had too many champions. I wouldn't be upset if they weren't champions. I think they got a little like
they get no rub. Like, as far as
the Hardy stuff was not great.
Nah, it did not work. It just didn't work. I mean, it doesn't even stand out, and we watch it every single fucking week, and I can barely remember when that happened.
They're also super young. Like, I'm not impatient about their situation. I think they're just fine.
I just want to point out that after the MJF and Wardlow thing, I had to make a note of this. And I tweeted out, I can't believe I got no likes. When JR makes a heartfelt statement to the camera about gun violence, he's like, something has to stop. It has to stop. And he looks at the camera and he goes, can you make it happen? It's like, me, JR? I can't make it happen. What do you mean? I don't even own a gun, much less enough guns to constitute a gun rack. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do, JR?
Call your local senator, man. Shit.
Call my local senator.
Yeah, you guys live in Missouri. Good luck with that.
Fucking A. Jesus Christ, JR. JR's putting a lot of pressure on me to make it happen.
As the host,
I did like that he mentioned it, because JR, especially because he's like this good old boy, you know, Oklahoma boy right there on the panhandle.
Of course.
I appreciate the fact that he.
It would have been weird if he came out for child murder, but when Shivani's, I'm not making a joke about. I am. Jason, stop laughing. I am not making a joke about this situation at all. But when Shivani's sitting next to him, he goes, and love your kids. Love your kids. And JR's like, yeah, I love your kids. It's like, I don't have to be told to love my kids, okay? Like, I love my kid, okay? Like, she's like, I don't know what, I know that it's all good-hearted and everything, but JR looks and is like, can I make it happen? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll go ahead and vote for the dickheads that don't do anything about it anyway. How about that? How about I go vote Democrat? Not guilty, the filthy devils try to fill me. When they get to the hood, the will be hotter than cayenne pepper. Touch much, kicking up dust is a must. I can't trust a cracker in a blue uniform. Sticker like a unicorn, born, picket, Lawrence, pow, foul, tear his fucking throat, and I smile. Go to Simi Valley and surely somebody knows the address of the jewelry. Pay a little visit. Who is it? He was Ice Cube. Can I talk to the Grand Wizard? Then boom, make him meet the barrel. Monday Farrell. Now he's fucked up like leather Tuscadero. Pretty soon we'll catch such a coon. Shoot him in the face, run him in him with a broom. Stick, dick, devils ain't shit. Listen to his ass through the
Folded. Bye. Go. 2 beer. Take it. Go. Hurry up.
ROH Tag Team Championship match, FTR versus Roppongi Vice. There was a lot of interesting things in this match. There was Caprice Coleman on commentary, which was cool. So
shout out to High Five Time. What's up, my brother?
We also have Excalibur, obviously, who's very knowledgeable about, ROH history and stuff. So that helps. And, I was really looking forward to this match in the ring because, it's FTR and it's Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero. Like, it's going to be good. And absolutely wild. Like, really kind of right as the match, starts heating up and it, starts, getting really good. Because it was good. But as it starts getting, real good and they break up that pin, then we have Jeff Cobb and Great Khan come down to interrupt the match for a double DQ. Never happens. I'm not mad about it because it never, ever happens.
They came out. I was like, what the fuck? Joey's like, is that? I was like, yeah, that's them.
Absolutely. And, they just don't, they usually provide us with some kind of finish. Hardly ever any disqualifications, let alone double disqualifications or countouts or anything like that. So, Cobb and Great Khan lay waste. They stand tall. They hold up the ROH titles. So, there's a lot of things that can happen with this. I know all of these teams have expressed interest in the IWGP heavyweight titles. I think one of the things that could happen as a side effect of the Forbidden Door and the relationship with AEW and New Japan, we might actually have an elevated tag team situation in New Japan because New Japan tag teams are not traditionally nearly in the level of the singles. So, that's interesting. So, I don't know if Cobb and Khan, just challenge for these ROH titles, if they take them off of them, and that leads to FTR going to Japan and taking belts off of Chase Owens or whoever, or they come over here, or I don't know, whatever. We'll see. But a lot of interesting stuff, kind of historic for a variety of reasons. Interesting segment.
FTR versus Roppongi Vice.
I liked the match. I liked it while it happened. I did not expect Cobb and Greg Khan to come in. Wait, what are you making that face for?
No, I agree with you. I was not expecting that either.
Did you see
Greg?
Yeah, I caught that too.
Thanks for catching it, Zach.
Shout out to Black Girl Raven.
Greg Khan seems to be having a great time.
That motherfucker might not come back from Vegas.
in the U.S. Shout out to Blood Girl Raven for sharing that. I don't know who saw it first, Zach or Blood Girl Raven.
It was basically boom, boom.
I know. Zach shared it with us, and then it's a really great picture. They did. They looked pretty sloppy in the ring. They were trying to do these tag moves, and it just wasn't working. I chalked that up to Grego Khan being very young and a little bit more inexperienced. Jeff Cobb is, by all accounts, a pro's pro. I love seeing the Tour of the Islands on AEW television. I think he did make an appearance on one as like Jericho's like enforcer or something like that.
I think
No, he wrestled Moxley.
yeah, I was going to say he wrestled Moxley.
Gotcha. It's hard to get excited about Roppongi Vice because did they ever even hold the NJPW tag belts?
The junior tags.
They held the juniors multiple times.
Gotcha. Okay. Rocky Romero doesn't really do anything for me. Trent Beretta. I like Rocky Romero as a personality. I listen to Anderson and Gallows podcast every once in a while. They're funny. They only last 25 minutes because you can tell they're drunk when they start it, and then they always end up drunker, which, for some reason that strikes a nerve with me. But
Interesting you should say that.
Yeah, I love seeing Jeff Cobb. And, of course, the crowd is going to be a little bit split when that happens, not in boos and yays, but in, there's some people that just don't know what's happening. And then there's marks like us that are going to be in the crowd that are going to start chanting holy shit and try to get everybody else into it. And that's exactly what happened. They tried getting everybody else into it. For guys like us three, I was fucking psyched to see Great O'Khan on Dynamite. That fucking hypes me up. And I didn't watch that part until this morning when I saw it. I was like, oh fuck yeah, let's get these motherfuckers. It got me more excited for Forbidden Door. I'm very excited for Forbidden Door, and I can't wait to do these predictions because these predictions are going to be the predictions that we're going to do later are going to have to be influenced by what's going to happen next month at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view.
I cannot wait to go. That's going to be the shit.
It's going to be the shit.
That's going to be the shit.
You're going to it?
Yeah.
Did you get tickets?
Yeah. Shout out to High Five Time. He hooked the shit up. That is going to be my man until I die. I swear on my mother's grave. Now, all that being said, the match I thought was really good. I like FTR, and it's always going to be weird to me to see them in a babyface role for a while. Cash Wheel High Five in the crowd is something that I'm going to still have to wrap my head around. It is what it is.
Which one? Is that the white one?
Yeah, it's the white one. Like I said, the match itself was good. I marked out you knew I would because this is New Japan guys on AEW television. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I agree with you. The in-ring attack was sloppy. Jeff Cobb crushing Dax Wheeler outside, or Dax Harwood outside the ring, throwing him through the table. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? He lands on the exposed ribs, so that's something to play on to. Forbidden Doors are on the way too, so that's something to play on too. A lot of this wasn't even about the match itself. It sets up. It's more about Forbidden Door than anything else.
Well, they have to do it. They can't go into this Forbidden Door pay-per-view that's NJPW versus AEW basically and not introduce some of these people or some of these wrestlers at least to the American audience that doesn't watch NJPW. That really NJPW has gone through dark times over the last couple of years because of COVID and because they haven't been able to have the Gaijin over there, and it's been completely different. So they have to start introducing this. That does not mean it's not a worthwhile effort. It is a worthwhile effort. If this pay-per-view is the trampoline that it takes to make AEW and NJPW, if this is like a yearly thing, this would be like WWE bragging rights times 1,000, where it's like, okay, now we actually have one, maybe NJPW versus AEW can be an actual thing rather than Raw and SmackDown, which is just a made up thing that happens once every month or once every year.
The only thing I would say about that, and Two Beer, chime in on this if you disagree. They did do this before the pandemic, but they had, well, I shouldn't say they had, but they had ROH in this. It wasn't AEW. It was ROH.
AEW was not at the same place at all.
It wasn't even AEW. It was New Japan versus Ring of Honor. That was the night that Matt Taven won the ROH championship. Blah blah blah.
Sold out Madison
Square Garden. Jay White's biggest claim, one of his biggest claims to fame, is that he sold out.
Yeah, you're welcome for the house.
Okay, thank you. A lot of that criticism, I guess, from that card was on the ROH side. It wasn't on the New Japan side, neither here nor there. So it's not like we haven't already done this. We did it, and it didn't necessarily, it wasn't the big success that we thought it was going to be. COVID comes now, and now we're getting ready to reboot this and do this again. I agree with you. If this is like an all-in, then it's a trampoline to what's to come. If this is like it was beforehand, then it's going to all be stagnant, and nobody's going to give a shit about New Japan.
Zach, what do you think?
I mean, it already sold out in 10 minutes, so it's already a success. So we'll just see what the pay-per-view buys are. I think it'll be pretty good.
And this is, I don't want to step on. Well, you know what? I won't. This is a new bill. I'm not going to step on shit for later. What's next, Zach?
Wow.
Next is probably Bill's favorite match of the night. It was mine because it was awesome. The three-way between Jungle Boy, Swerve, and Ricky Starks.
Was not my favorite match of the night.
Really?
My second
Oh, yeah?
favorite match of the night. And
Okay.
I don't know yet, but I did love it. I was surprised by the winner, though.
Ditto.
Actually, I thought that was what should have happened because Swerve is the least established in AEW, just because he's the newest, and I think he needs like some shine because he's awesome. So that's who I would have picked. But they made everybody look good. I mean, they were just like lots of like very fast paced, like real deal, like three-way spots, like spots that only would exist in a triple threat match. So super cool.
Very fun
and
match.
Then Keith Lee look like a superstar. Comes out. He got the biggest shine of everybody.
Well, he also was the only guy that came out to music. Everybody else came out to no music. Keith Lee came out to his music.
And he did that crazy corkscrew over the top of the ring. And, man, he fell hard.
I don't know if anybody caught his ass or not.
Yeah, he fell hard. He fucking gravity's a bitch, man. Motherfucker's huge.
You don't see 300-plus pound dudes doing that for a reason because they fall hard.
Okay, that motherfucker was coming over. I was like, okay,
What you think,
somebody
Jason?
going to catch him? No, that's great.
Is that who you thought was going to win?
Oh, no. Honestly, I was confused. I thought it was a FTW title match, so I thought Ricky Starks was going to win. The fact that Swerve won and now Two Beers says kind of gives that explanation. It makes a lot more sense. The match was good. I'm not going to sit up here in front. I just wish that the big guys would have never even came out. I know what you're doing, and I get it. But I think the match itself was good enough to where you didn't have to bring everybody else out.
You ever seen Dynamite? Like, did you not think the guys were going to come out? You knew everybody was coming out.
But like I said, for me, it didn't have to be that way because, like I said, there was enough to where now I was starting to think immediately about Sunday. What could possibly happen? Is this going to be a scenario where the champs can lose and not get pinned?
We got a lot more to talk about this on the predictions. What was next, Zach?
We can move on. We had Hardy's cutting a tape promo against the Bucks. Some interesting stuff in there.
How did none of us ever think of calling them the Delete?
Yeah, I know, right?
How did that never cross anybody's mind to call them the Delete?
Perfect.
Instead of the Elite. It's so perfect.
Yeah. I was like, I saw the shirt. I was like, well played. It looks like,
Just makes
shit,
sense.
never mind. It's not that shirt.
Makes tons of sense.
But yeah, some interesting things. Basically, Jeff Hardy saying like, and both of them basically just talking about being old. Still talking about being the best, but just talking about being old, and both like not even hinting, just outright saying like, this is it. This is the last run of their careers. Like they're wrapping it up here. So
it's the same thing Ric Flair said probably in like 1995.
Still don't think they're going to be AEW tag champs?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
That they'll never be AEW tag champs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stand by it.
T-Bear, what do you think?
I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. I don't know what I was thinking when I said that, but I agree with myself.
It could have been me because I remember saying it, and I still agree.
Okay.
Lambert cuts a promo. I fucking love Dan Lambert. God, he's unlike anybody else in wrestling cutting a promo. He is like Paul Heyman with an extra chromosome or anything. What do you think, Zach?
Oh yeah, I mean I like Dan Lambert as much as I can't stand this Scorpio Sky Sammy Guevara feud anymore. I'm just so tired of it. But basically, we're gonna get on Rampage. They smash the belt. Dan Lambert, who legitimately has the largest collection of historical wrestling belts, like territory belts and like actual authentic belts. He's got the most of anybody. He's like, I got belt makers on speed dial, which I'm sure he does. And so they're going to have a new TNT championship Friday on Rampage. So we'll see what that is. But I mean, I'm over this feud. It's got to go. They got to get away from each other.
It doesn't even make sense. I don't even mind heel versus heel, but if it's not, it's not even really, doesn't even feel about the title anymore. You know what I'm saying? It feels like who can be the most irritating to the fans. And it's Sammy and Ty Conte by far.
I'll tell you what, when Scorpio Sky ended up being a heel at the end of that
didn't even make sense.
It ruined it.
It ruined it. I'm just completely done with it.
You didn't even let that shit marinate. You're just like, all right, fuck it, it's done.
And AEW, which never lets anything marinate, didn't let that shit marinate for a second. Mm-mm. And it's like, just guys, it's
it's rare.
Like even when Cobb and Greg O'Con came out, like they didn't even give it a second before they moved on to the next thing. And I understand that they want to. Maybe Tony Khan just wants to get as many guys their money as possible, so that's why he puts everybody on the show. Maybe I don't know what their pay structure is like, but you have to let shit sit for a little bit. It's like a wrestling match. It's like you can't have spot after spot after spot and not have guys sell for just a little bit, so the audience can catch their breath for a minute before you go into the next thing. But okay.
Yeah. So we had Thunder Rosa doing a promo with Tony Schiavone, and this was a good promo. She didn't have the makeup on, so she just had her cowboy hat on, and basically said, "This is the last time you'll see my face because I'm going to put the war paint on." And she went hard on Serena Deeb, talking about her cosmetic enhancements and all this, but. They started her music a little early, and she still had more to say. But it was nice to see Thunder Rosa. I know somebody did a thing where, she's got less than like 20 minutes of TV time since she's gotten this belt like months ago. And I think some of that was like her getting a cake thrown in her face and destroyed by Nyla Rose. So I don't know.
Not Thunder Rosa's fault. I think that she I like Thunder Rosa as a fighter. I like Thunder Rosa. I think that she's fine as a promo. Like everybody that picks on her about her promo skills, I don't think they pick on certain men's promo skills the exact same way. I think that she gets a little picked on. What do you look at me like that for?
You should. I'm waiting. No, go ahead and finish.
Are you saying that I'm going to say that? Or did I say a couple of weeks ago that her promo skills were shit or something?
No, I'm just waiting for you to have that same energy that you had with Adam Page for Thunder Rosa. This wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't very good, but it was fine, and it's not in the same place. You think that? Okay, look, listen. I understand that we're supposed to treat the women's championship as much as seriously as we treat the men's championship, but that's just not the way it is. It's Adam Page and CM Punk, and then it's Thunder Rosa and fucking Serena Deeb. Like, it's just not the same thing. And it's also not, don't come back with me like this, it's not the soft bigotry of low expectations. She's a fine promo, and this was a good promo. It wasn't a bad promo. Do you think it was a bad promo?
It was not very good. It didn't do anything. The only reason that I want to see this match now is because it's two good wrestlers. The build has been hot garbage.
Well, I mean, I wasn't particularly...
And I'm including this promo as part of hot garbage.
Well, I wasn't particularly kind to the Punk Page build either. I said that I feel like I missed an entire fucking week. I wasn't being fair to that either. So if you're saying that I'm being unfair... So I'm being unfair to Adam Page because of the way I'm talking about Thunder Rosa?
In this scenario, I think you're underselling the fact that Adam Page has cut at least one promo that we can all stand around and look at. If Thunder Rosa can't be said the same reason, I mean,
this has nothing to do with Adam Page. Has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Zach, what'd you think?
I thought it was fine. As far as like the promo went, I didn't have strong feelings about it.
Thank you.
I didn't think it was like particularly good or particularly bad. I just thought it was.
I don't know. I don't know why she always needs Tony Schiavone to be there for her promos, but obviously she needs to do that up at the top of the ramp. Obviously, somebody thinks that she needs to do that.
She's the AEW champion. She should be doing it.
Yes, it's not her fault that she has not gotten very much TV time. More TV time begets more TV time.
Okay.
More TV time means that you're going to be better on the mic. So if she's not getting very much...
No.
Practice doesn't make perfect.
No.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
There have been plenty of people that have been on TV on multiple promotions, and that has not been very good on the mic. Okay? Okay, so let's not say it's more TV equals better promos. All right, I'll just leave that alone. Two Beer, what's next?
Britt Baker and Toni Storm, and they had a fine match. I wasn't blown away by this, but the biggest thing, I think the biggest takeaway, is that Britt Baker went over, which kind of surprised me because I know that Britt is a bigger name. She is the biggest star in the women's division. I guess they just wanted her on the pay-per-view for that reason, but I just thought it was a little early to beat Toni Storm. But at the same time, I mean, she lost to Britt Baker and she didn't lose particularly clean, so it's like I'm splitting hairs over this, but it did surprise me. I don't know what you guys thought.
No, it's a total surprise. I mean, for me, it was Toni Storm's tournament to lose. From that point, it's like anybody that's won their big, ladder match, tournament, whatever. They win the tournament, but ultimately the tournament winner doesn't win the title. That's what I expected for Toni Storm, to at least win the tournament. If that was the case, then the Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm first round match is really like, what the fuck? That could have happened a little more later. Neither here nor there. I agree with you totally. Britt Baker is over, whether you like her or not. Okay? Way over. This was the time to put Toni Storm over, and you had Britt Baker in front to do it. You had Jamie Hayter come down to possibly now have them break apart. I've been a big fan of that for a long, long time, and they went the complete opposite way. Go ahead.
So, in this Owen Hart Invitational, the Owen Hart Tournament, it's looking like we could have Adam Cole and Britt Baker both win it. This would be a bad idea by AEW. I do not want to see another power couple. There's already a power couple, which is Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti. I do not want to see another power couple. It seems like it would be a waste of the Owen Hart Invitational to have them win. That being said, we have Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe. They're both two guys that are completely over. So you're not going to make a new star.
Check.
Like, this could be like a King of the Ring type thing, which is what you'd want it to be, which is why I was also surprised to see Toni Storm lose. Of course, Britt Baker wins. I would like to see Adam Cole and Britt Baker both make it to the finals and both lose. So I'm rooting for Chris Statlander. Make a new star. Ruby Soho's already there. I would be fine with Ruby Soho.
I think we can argue that Chris Statlander is there. You're the AEW guy.
What did Chris Statlander ever win?
She's had an AEW title match.
But she's never had the AEW title.
Very few have.
Well, good point. Yeah, thank you for agreeing with me. So Chris Statlander can win it, and Samoa Joe can win it. I think that it would be a better story to have Adam Cole and Britt Baker lose.
Two-beer?
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. I'm pretty sure they made belts for this. I think they're.
Really?
I think they
Of course.
have.
Oh, yeah. Why not have more belts?
No.
I'm a
see.
guy that's all about belts, and there are so many belts. There's never going to be a segment without a belt. Why don't you just make a belt for MJF Wardlow called the MJF Wardlow belt?
Well, I think it's in the sense of like the Dynamite Diamond Ring. It's a thing that is like yearly, so
No,
kind of like
see.
King of the Ring or like whatever. I
like
don't
that.
know for certain, but I'm pretty. I saw reported they were going to debut new belts. So I don't know
The
if
trio
that's
titles.
yeah, I mean, it could be that, but we'll see. But there'll be something, and I think that it is going to be an annual event where it does carry on. Not necessarily that you'll defend it, but kind of like MJF has had to win from the ground up that Dynamite Diamond Ring each year. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm with you. Anybody that's left is a good option, but it just surprised me. I thought it would be Toni Storm all the way. At this point, I'm leaning Ruby Soho, but I am kind of leaning Adam Cole.
Whoa. Slow down, champ. We got predictions. What's next?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Thank you. Wait, hold on a second. I'm the quarterback of this show.
I
Whoa,
apologize.
whoa. We got predictions. What's next?
It was the tournament, semifinals? Yeah, semifinals. Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly, and these guys had a really good match. Like, shocker, big surprise, spoiler alert. But story of the match was Kyle
This was
O'Reilly
my
going
match of the night.
after. Yeah, I mean, it was really good, and Kyle O'Reilly's just constantly going after his submissions. And the story is essentially that Joe ends up winning. He fights out of him, but he is going into the finals weaker because his arm is all jacked up from O'Reilly's constant arm bars. So, then we had a stare down with Adam Cole, coming out doing the music, and that ended an altogether very good go-home show.
Yeah, it was a typical AEW Dynamite, which means it was above average. I didn't feel like I wasted my time by watching it at all.
Who are you rooting for? I guess Better Choice Wars in the main event. Did you have rooting interest?
Joe.
Okay.
Joe. Yeah, I was rooting for Joe. But this is the type
Joe,
of this
Joe.
this is the type of match that Kyle O'Reilly should be in, though. Like, this was a hard-hitting, strong style. Kyle O'Reilly's doing all his jiu-jitsu shit. He's trying he's trying everything out on this dude that's clearly bigger than him, and they are hitting the fuck out of each other. This is the type of match that Kyle O'Reilly should always be in. This is the thing about the Undisputed Era, or the Undisputed Elite, is that they're all a little bit smaller, and there's not a whole lot that they do that makes them stand out from each other. And I'm talking about O'Reilly and Fish and Roderick Strong. Not talking about Adam Cole. He clearly stands out. The thing that Kyle O'Reilly can do to make him stand out a little bit is all that jiu-jitsu shit, all that real MMA shit, that shit that makes him so compelling as a wrestler, especially against a guy that's as big as Joe, and to make it look believable. The fact that he tapped out did kind of surprise me. I was surprised that he tapped out.
Surprised at that.
But Joe is such a believable big guy, especially when he's cut loose and he gets to fight the way that he wants to fight, or wrestle the way he wants to wrestle. I loved this match. It could have gone another 5 minutes as far as I was concerned. It was about 11, 12 minutes long. Could have gone longer. Big fan of it, but I was rooting for Joe. I did not want to. I do not like Kyle O'Reilly as a singles wrestler. I do not like his character. I've said it before.
Well, I don't think you got the same cool Kyle O'Reilly from NXT that you.
No, but he's been in
AEW,
AEW long enough to where he has a character.
It's not the same thing, but neither here nor there. Doesn't matter. I agree with you. No, whatever. Fine. It's worse if that's what you want to think. Cool. The match was good.
Ding, ding, ding.
The match was good. I'll just say this. I was waiting for either Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, somebody of that ilk to come down to where it's set up an undisputed. And I didn't want to see. That's the one thing I didn't want to see is an undisputed elite final. This is a good final. It hasn't happened.
So you were rooting for Joe too?
Yeah. It hasn't happened on AEW television, so this is perfect. Let's just see what happens. If the fuckery happens on Double or Nothing, so be it. But I didn't want to see it happen on Wednesday Night Dynamite.
Tuber Zach, anything left to say before we're going to do Battle of Super Juniors, and then we'll do predictions?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's get to that 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
I woke up today at 5 a.m.
Ugh. Well, I was at 7, so I wasn't too far behind you, but go ahead.
My daughter, Edna Guerrero, is going through some sort of growth spurt where she has slept 12 hours a day, 12 hours at night, from 7 till 7, 2 nights in a row. And then last night she went to sleep at 6:30 and woke up at 5.
PM to AM?
PM to AM. Didn't wake up in the middle of the night.
Damn.
Today,
good ass sleep.
Today, no shit, man. Zach, have you ever experienced this as a parent?
We got lucky, and I mean, they were pretty good sleepers. I know it was a little bit of hell for a little while, but
well,
yeah.
My kid and Zach's kids are cousins, so maybe they just didn't get that putrid, vaguey Pullman gene. And maybe so she woke up at 5 o'clock today. So I got up with her at 5 o'clock. My wife worked last night, so she came in late, and I was like, I'll get up and I'll just hang out with her and read a couple books and play Wordle. And then I brought her into my office and let her play in there while I finished Mission Impossible 5, which, by the way, is a fucking banger, man. Those Mission Impossible movies are fucking bangers. 4, 5, and 6 are
really
unbelievable.
good series.
So, and then I turned on. I had only watched 2 nights of Best of Super Juniors last week. So today I watched 3, 4, 5, and 6. Watched all 4 episodes.
That's okay.
While I was working during the day, and then I turned on night 7, which had 10 matches.
Yes.
Couldn't get through it because you came over here too early.
Don't blame me.
So I've watched lots of Battle of the Best of the Super Juniors this week. I know that Zach's still really early on it. I know Jason's all caught up. So what I would like to ask you, Jason, is just your general thoughts. Who is impressing you? Who is disappointing you?
We'll go with the most impressive first, and probably because I've seen everything up to this point, and I won't give too many spoilers if I don't absolutely have to. I would say Ace Austin is probably the most impressive because of results and matches that he's wrestled. Being the X Division champion and being a Gaijin, I was kind of concerned. Will Yuta, I had the same concerns with. We'll talk about him in a second. I was concerned at how he's going to get booked, and he's been booked extremely strong. I've seen him on Impact. I've been a fan. This just kind of reinforces what I've already thought. Alex Zane is probably my second guy, and this is somebody that if you don't Well, I'm just saying.
No, I just have something to say about both of them.
Alex Zane is the other guy.
It's funny that you brought those two guys up because I have something to say about both of them.
Is the number 2 guy that I can think of off the top of my head.
And there are guys in here that you know. You know Yo. You know Sho. You know Ishimori. You know Hiromu. You know Taguchi. Who am I missing? You know Robbie Eagles. You know Bushi. Titan is new. You know Doki. You know Master Wado. You know Phantasmo. You know
No, Titan has been there before the pandemic, so I mean,
and you know TJP.
Yeah, it's not like it's.
So you're talking about the new guys, basically.
No, I'm not. I'm not even going to say that because I was going to say like TJP on the flip side has been a smidge disappointing just because of results. It just kind of is what it is, you know. El Lindemann, I would say, is probably the 3rd guy. If you want to say a top 3 guys,
he's been
most
great.
impressive.
That's
been the 3rd guy. You probably want to see
the guy that you didn't know anything about, really.
Right. Okay, and he's probably the smallest of the bunch, and he's throwing guys around that's twice his size. Okay, that's my top 3 guys on the most impressive side. Least impressive side,
not least impressive, just
disappointing.
Yeah.
TJP, I thought would be more of an impact guy, for lack of a better word.
That's insane to me. Go ahead.
Like I said, he's had good matches. It's just not coming up with W's. And it's not because he's having, it's not of the in-ring thing. It's because he's not more higher up point-wise.
All right, who else?
Okay. Just quickly looking at it. Francisco Akira came out and had a big win early, and he hasn't won anything since. A little disappointing there.
Wait a minute. Are you talking kayfabe or are you talking shoot?
I'm talking kayfabe.
So you're just telling me who you're impressed with, like in terms of how many wins they have? I want to know who you like watching.
Alex Zane is the guy is probably the guy that nobody really knows. Teton is one of those guys that once you said it was his first best of the Super Juniors. It's really not. He was a CMLL guy. He's been there before. Like Zach said on podcast beforehand, he's usually brought over to be the guy that loses. And he's lost a lot of matches and he's continued to lose, but he's had good matches. It's not like he's not doing anything bad. And it's just he's that guy.
Who's your 3rd guy? Disappointing. We gotta get going.
Will Yuta, I was expecting for him to grow as a wrestler, show something different as a moveset. It's basically been the same Will Yuta matches as it's gone forward.
Zach, do you have any thoughts about this? I know that you're not caught up, but anybody that's impressing you or not impressing you so far?
I've only watched the first 2 matches. Was it Clark Connors versus
Ace Austin?
Ace Austin. That match ruled, and I was like, oh yeah, I love Battle of Super Juniors.
Yeah, you were tweeting about it a whole bunch. I thought that you had watched more.
That's literally the first match, and then I watched the second match, which was Alex Zane, and I was unfamiliar with him for the most part. I didn't remember much of his other stuff. Like I never watched 205 Live. I know he's in NXT a little bit under Ari Sterling or whatever, but yeah, he cut loose and he looks real good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up on it. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm going camping for the weekend and hoping I have enough service to order double or nothing.
You're done.
Here's what I'll say. I watched a lot today, like a lot, just to be able to say this. I can't stand looking at Ace Austin. I can't stand looking at Alex Zane. You know why? Because Ace Austin shaves his eyebrows and has purple hair, and he looks like Maynard James Keenan, like Maynard James Keenan's little brother or something. Do you know who Maynard James Keenan is?
No.
He's the lead singer from Tool.
Okay.
Tool.
Alex Zane looks like a fucking idiot. He looks so grimy. I can't even stand looking at him. That being said, TJP fucking rules. Ishimori fucking rules. Desperado rules. Wheeler
all giving shit.
Wheeler Yuta's just been okay.
Okay.
He's just been okay.
Okay. See, you was getting ready over here, run me down on that bullshit. Come on, man.
No, I'm not trying to run you down. I'm saying.
Well, okay, then who's your most impressive?
I've been most impressed with Francisco Akira.
Okay.
I love him. He's the guy that came down after Jay White a couple months ago during a pay-per-view, right? And everybody was like, who the fuck is this dude? And he's like 22. Yeah, because he's a little redheaded. He looks like fucking Lollipop Guild. I hate Taguchi. Get Taguchi out of here.
If it's Big Match Taguchi, I like. This is just.
Listen, if we're talking comedy and it's Yano versus Taguchi, give me Yano all day, every day, right?
No. I like Taguchi. Sorry, I can't go with Yano.
TJP is
Bill
incredible.
Was more into butt stuff.
That's gonna do for our 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
That was the wrong one.
I was getting ready to say, what you doing?
Start talking to him. Let me piss. I'm going to be right back.
What you doing? See? So yeah, we're getting ready to do our double or nothing predictions here in a little bit. I'll say this personally. I forgot that. I shouldn't say forgot. I forgot that this weekend was Memorial Day weekend, and it was double or nothing on Sunday. So me and Joey were talking about, hooking up for watching Dynamite last night. He was like, when's double or nothing? I was like, it's Memorial Day weekend. So he's like, so it's this Sunday? I was like, no. It's like a week. It's like next week. He was like, no, it's like this Sunday. I'm like, oh shit. Memorial Day weekend is this Sunday. It's probably more me just working so much and not being able to keep days straight at certain points. But Memorial Day weekend, this coming up Sunday, we're going to have 4 hours of double or nothing pay-per-view. I'll ask you, Two Beer, if you get service, and I'm sure you will.
4 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4. Yeah, it's gonna be 4 hours for sure. If you get 4 hours and you get service,
6 hours.
Okay, if you get 4 hours plus, are you gonna be able to ride the whole 4 hours? You gonna take break? What you gonna do?
Oh, I'll be fine because I'm 2 hours ahead. Like, these things start for me at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, good point.
Like, the pre-show starts at like 4. It's great.
Yeah, good point.
I can still get to bed by like 9 after 5 hours of wrestling.
I can still get to bed by 9.
All right, so we're gonna do predictions this week.
I love you, Two Beer.
There's only one triple threat. It's all one-on-one matches, and there's only one triple threat, I think. And it's the tag match.
titles. Yeah.
So let's start at the top because we never do this. Let's go Adam Page versus CM Punk.
Really?
Yep.
That's how we going.
Let's do it. I'm gonna write down my answer so you don't think that I'm copying.
Okay. Two Beer, go first. You're the AEW guy.
Two Beer, go ahead.
This is my prediction, and it is a two-pronged prediction. 2 beers, 2-pronged. So I have Adam Page retaining his title at Double or Nothing, winning clean over CM Punk, because Adam Page is the future of this company, and he should have that clean win over CM Punk, and then they bring it back very quickly in Chicago at All Out, and CM Punk wins in Chicago.
Well, All Out's not next. Forbidden Door is next.
Yeah, but it'll be like promotion versus promotion.
Okay.
So,
all right. And then you think Punk wins it All Out?
yes.
Jason?
But I had Adam Page.
I've always said that this Adam Page reign didn't feel like it was over. And everything that I've seen up to this point still doesn't make me change my mind. I get it. It's CM Punk. I get it. But he beat Kenny Omega. He beat Danielson. If he could beat CM Punk, that would really start to put claim behind what Tony Khan thinks is the greatest AEW title reign that's been in the 3 years of the company. I'm going to stick to it. I'm not going to waver. I'm taking Adam Page to retain. from that point, if he turns heel, I don't give a shit as long as he retains.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So I had Punk, you guys had Paige. We'll go Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. I think... Jesus. I'm going Thunder Rosa. I can't even explain why. What do you think, Jason?
Oh, I can explain why. I mean, Thunder Rosa is just starting her reign, number one. Number two, I think Serena Deeb is a good opponent for her to show that she can wrestle and get away from the fact that this build has been not necessarily, like I said, anything good. Hot garbage is what I said, and I will stick to it. I will take Thunder Rosa to retain.
2 beer.
Give me Thunder Rosa.
All right. So the next one I've written down, we're going to go top to bottom this time.
Okay.
I know we never do it.
that is a little weird.
So we got Jurassic Express, Team Taz, and Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Now, I am going to go first here because I don't want to be influenced by you guys.
All right, then I'm going to go pee.
Because I have thought about this a lot. And I think that Jurassic Express is the least likely to win, which I know is strange because they are the reigning champions. And then I go between Team Taz, Keith Lee, and Swerve Strickland a lot. I think it is time for Team Taz to win the belts because they are OGs. And I think that it's time that Tony Khan probably gave him a little something rather than have Swerve and Keith Lee take it. So I am going to take most likely Team Taz, then Swerve and Keith Lee, Jurassic Express, least likely to take it. Zach, what do you
got? Almost the opposite. I've got Jurassic Express retaining with Swerve and Keith Lee second most likely, and Hobbs and Stark least likely.
Jason.
Wow. I'll go least likely, obviously, first. I agree with Bill on this one. I think Jurassic Express is the team to lose to slowly start to set up the Christian and Jungle Boy feud. 2-1 is a little difficult just because I heard an interview that Swerve had this morning that said that he and Keith Lee have been a tag team since 2016. Obviously, I haven't seen this, so this was kind of news to me. But I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to stick to my gut. I agree with Bill on 2-1. I'm going 2 with Swerve and Keith Lee, and I'm going 1 with Team Taz winning the tag team titles.
Next up, we have Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, baby, for the Owen Hart Tournament Finals. Jason, who you got?
Match will be good. I do expect fuckery at this point for sure now. I would expect Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and your boy Saddam Singh to come down in some form or fashion.
That's my boy.
To help out Adam Cole, baby. I don't think that we're going to get the double power couple prediction that you gave, so I'm going to take Adam Cole, baby, to win the men's side of the Owen Hart Tournament.
Zach, who you got?
I got Adam Cole. I think it gives him a feather in his cap because he is a main event type guy, and I don't know that he will be. He might be in the main event picture, but I don't see him being the top guy anytime real soon. So I think it gives him a feather in his cap to ride this thing out.
So I went on my own there too. Samoa Joe, you guys took Adam Cole. So we got Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho or Statlander. Do you guys want to guess this one?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'll guess it on who wins on Friday night. I'll go Chris Statlander wins on Friday night. Red Velvet gave Ruby Soho the blueprint, and Ruby Soho poo-pooed it. So I expect Red Velvet to...
I like how she's like, here's the blueprint. Like, all the matches aren't on TV.
Right. Whatever. Horrible. So,
who you taking?
So then at that point, yikes. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. I would think you would have did it right the first time. So I'm gonna say you do it right the second time. I'll take Chris Statlander. I've got Chris Statlander winning both matches to win the women's side of the Yoling tournament.
I also am going to take Chris Statlander. Who you got, Zach?
I've got Ruby Soho going all the way. She didn't beat Britt for the title, but she will beat her for this.
Okay.
MJF versus Wardlow. Now, I'll go first here. This seems like something.
Has that gone first yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I did, I think, on the first one.
Yeah.
It's a bitch.
I know. Seriously.
You going first?
Listen, I'm the quarterback.
I'm sorry.
Has that gone first yet?
No, I don't think so.
So MJF versus Wardlow. I'll go first here. Everybody thinks that Wardlow's going to win because it's this perfect story that's been told from the very beginning of time in AEW.
We have just given
Everybody thinks that Wardlow's going to win.
Given it its flowers.
And that's because Wardlow's going to win. I'm taking Wardlow. Who do you have, Jason? You thought I was going to say MJF there, didn't you?
A little bit, yeah, and that really doesn't change my pick much.
Well, it shouldn't change your pick.
I agree with everything you said, but I'm just going to pick MJF because it would be another stab. It just gives you more heat on MJF. And if there's anything that the top heel needs is more heat. This is the perfect way to do it.
Thanks, Bubba Ray Dudley. Zach, who you got, MJF or Wardlow?
I got Wardlow. MJF never loses. This is the time for him to lose. Make the fans happy. Maybe even open the show with it.
Well, that's why I said last week, though. He just stole that from me, right? Okay, thanks.
Oh, I didn't remember that shit at all.
Of course you didn't, but it seeped into your head, though, didn't it, brother? It seeped into your fucking head, didn't it?
Osmosis.
So we're going to make Zach go first here.
Yeah, there you go.
Jericho Appreciation Society versus
Jesus
Eddie Kingston,
Christ.
LAX, and the Blackpool Combat Club in an Anarchy in the Arena match.
The fuck is that?
Zach, who you got?
The fuck is
Faces
that?
or the heels? Faces or the heels?
Faces.
The fuck is that? The fuck is Anarchy in the Arena? Is that the code name for
Stadium Stampede?
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
thank
I know.
you. Get the fuck out of here.
I actually think that's the joke. Who are you taking?
I don't care.
We both have the face.
I just don't care.
You're not going to take it?
I'm taking the heels. I'm taking the heels. There you go.
I'm giving you Big Show.
I'm taking the heels just to make it a little compelling pie. There you
I
go.
just tried to write with the cigarette.
How'd that work out?
That's just like Zach said. He tried to write with his weed pen. Okay. Now, we still have two burners left. Hardys versus the Young Bucks. In what can only be described.
Let him go first.
I know, but this can only be described as a dream match. I mean, they're two generational tag teams.
We've seen this before, though, guys. I mean, come on. Ladder match, ROH.
I love how you say.
High five time.
I love how
Help
you
me
say.
out.
Hold on. This is what all you fucking smarks say all the time. You guys are like, we've seen this before. It's like, I haven't. I know that all
it's a
you
thing
guys.
that's called YouTube. It's a beautiful thing. So if you miss something,
I also have a thing called a life, which means I go out and I don't watch YouTube matches all the time.
well, I mean, it's been like 4 or 5 years, but whatever.
Okay, so you've seen this match one time, 4 or 5 years ago on YouTube.
I'm just saying it's happened.
Zach, who you got?
It was actually the weekend before they debuted at WrestleMania. The Hardys. Yeah. But anyway,
I believe
got-
you guys have seen it. I haven't seen
I
it.
got-
So whose fault is that? Sorry, Tubir, go ahead.
I got the Bucks. I mean, like,
The greatest
It's
tag team of all
pay-per-view.
time cannot lose on pay-per-view.
He's got me. I mean, he's got me convinced. Actually, who you got, Jason?
I'm taking the Hardys. Not even because I'm
Really?
not even because I'm trying to be contrarian. I think honestly, if this is going to be the Hardys' quote unquote last run, we're going to have to start to move them up the ladder. This is
I
the
already
way
wrote
to
that.
do it.
Yeah, you just kind of talked me into it. I already wrote down Young Bucks, though. I'm taking the Young Bucks.
Okay.
House of Black versus Death Triangle in what has, like, literally 5 of the best wrestlers in the world
doing absolutely nothing
in one match. I mean, really, Buddy Matthews, Phoenix, Penta, Pac, Aleister Black. I mean, we are talking about lots of talent in that match, and Brody King is no slouch either. I am going to take, because I know these trios titles are coming up, I'm going to take the House of Black because they are the heels here. And I think that it's better to have, if you're going to have new titles, I know this is not for the titles, but I know the titles are coming. I'm taking House of Black. Jason, who you got?
I'll agree. I expect a heel turn at this point. If Julia Hart hasn't turned, this is the time to turn her. Eyes on the product. Make it happen, Captain. I'm taking the heels.
Zach, who you got?
Yep, I got House of Black, and this could be the sleeper match of the night. I mean, like, this thing could legit steal the show. It's not going to have, like, the storytelling of the others, but, I mean, it's just as far as, like, wrestling matches.
Plenty
like,
of
this
talent.
thing's going to be
Any
fun.
match with Death Triangle or any match with the Young Bucks is always possible to be the best match of the night.
There's plenty of talent. If you give me 15 minutes...
Bottom line... And then you throw in Buddy Matthews?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Come on.
It's a ton of talent in this ring. If you give them 15 minutes, they can do some work.
All right, so now we're actually getting to the two biggest matches of the night. Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say Jade Cargill.
Yeah, let's double down on that.
Yeah,
Zach?
Jade Cargill.
Okay.
Like, and maybe, like, very, very fast.
Really? You think this is going to be a squash?
I think it's going to be a squash also.
I think it has to be with so many matches on the card. And
Three
what's it
minutes.
matter?
There's 11 matches on the card. It's going to be a fucking 6-hour pay-per-view, man. They're going to give Blackpool Combat Club versus Jericho Appreciation Society, they're going to give them like 33 minutes or something. It's going to be stupid.
I told you a couple weeks ago that this was going to be on the fucking pay-per-view. Okay?
I know, and I agreed. And then for the main event, we have Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling.
Hookhausen?
You're going Hookhausen?
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, it's Hookhausen all the way for all the monies.
I'm not giving up.
In the main event? Are you kidding me?
I am not going to give up a point here to lose to you guys. I'm taking Hookhausen also. I'm just going to go with the most obvious thing. So, but that is, I mean, that's 11 matches, man. That's a lot of matches. So those are our predictions for...
Where are you watching it on Sunday?
I'm not going to be watching on Sunday. I will have to watch it probably Tuesday. I'll have to stay off of wrestling Twitter, which I can do.
For the record, I will be tweeting on Sunday, so just don't look, either one of you two jokers.
I don't follow you on my regular Twitter, though, because I know that I don't want shit spoiled, because all you do is, like, do play-by-play. You're like, this guy beats this guy. Like, you watch it live, and then you tell your Twitter audience who won the match. And it's like, well, just give me a chance to watch it, dude. It's like, why don't you tell me how Better Call Saul ends or something?
I mean, you'd be pissed if I did that. So, I mean, what the fuck?
No, just give me a star. Give me a star rating and say it was a good match. I'm not going to tell you who won. But you always say, this guy beats this guy. And then you give your review of the match, which is your Twitter personality. I get it. What I'm saying is I have a second Twitter so that you don't ruin wrestling, so that you or other people don't ruin wrestling for me if I don't watch it.
Okay.
That way I can stay away from...
I'm almost a little hurt, but that's okay.
No, that way I can stay away from totals when I miss a pay-per-view like I'm going to Sunday night. That makes sense, right, Zach?
I have better advice. Just stay away from Twitter.
Dude, it's been a real bummer the last couple of days, man. It's been a real fucking bummer.
So, for the record, so we get this out the way, neither one of you guys are going to be here next week.
Right. I think that this is a good chance for you, and I was going to talk to you about this off air, but I'll say it on air. I think this is a good chance for you to maybe invite somebody that's invited you onto their podcast, onto our podcast, and they can be our guests our guest hosts with you because I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to fish. I'm going to fish in Indiana.
Two Beer, what are you going to do next week?
I'm in Bend.
This is work related?
Yep.
So we will not be here. Jason will be here with some special guests, I think.
Maybe.
Or you want to do a solo? I mean, you can have Tender. You can have Murray.
Hey.
You can have Lucha Chris.
Hey.
Patriot Pat.
I guess next week you're just going to have to find out what happens.
I can't wait to see it.
Are you really jerking off alone right now?
Hey, everybody. We got some birthdays. Eric Bischoff is 67.
That motherfucker mad at Tony Khan, boy. Mad.
CM Punk, too. They got into it.
Okay, mad at everybody.
Did we talk about that?
We have not talked about that.
We didn't talk about Bischoff versus CM Punk. Man, they both had a couple good digs on each other. It was good. Natalia is 40. Kamala. She's dead? The vice president?
No.
Oh, this is the wrestler. Okay.
Yeah, motherfucker.
72. Seth Rollins is 36 this week. He's still alive.
Yes, sir.
Pete Gas.
Yo, boy.
I didn't know who this motherfucker was. What was the name of their thing? What was it?
Oh, what was it? Oh,
it's like Brooklyn Street Station or something. What?
Spirit Squad?
No.
Yeah, it was.
No,
It's
no.
the Green, it was the Green Street.
No, the something street. Who was it with? Who was the main guy?
It was Shane.
Right.
Pete Gas, and it was the third guy.
Anyway.
It was the Green Street, like, bullies or some shit. He don't like you.
No, we got into it on Twitter. That's why I'm wishing him a happy birthday. Pete Gas, I hope you're listening. We got into it. He was like, I don't care if this fucker didn't know who I was. It's like, okay.
Mean Street Posse.
Mean Street. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Did you look that up or did you just know it?
I just looked it up. Yeah.
Hey, I don't give a fuck how you got it.
Brian Kendrick is 43. I wonder how he feels about the moon landing. I'd love to hear it. Nia Jax. I hope you're doing okay. 38.
She's fine.
Hornswoggle, who these days is just known as
Swoggle.
Yeah. 36.
No.
That can't be right?
No.
Oh, I don't have my phone. I don't have my phone on me.
Do your math again. No.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Still alive.
Who? Oh, of course. He was
Master of the DDT.
In my household, because my younger brother was Jacob. He loved Jake the Snake Roberts. He had Jake the Snake Roberts folders. That's what used to happen back then. You would have a folder of a guy just caressing a snake, and you would keep your math assignments in there. That was like 4 + 9 = 13. And here's this dude just sexually laying with a snake.
One of the greatest promos ever.
Well, he's really good.
Yes, sir.
No Way Jose. I hope he's doing okay too. I hope him and Nia Jax are splitting a futon somewhere.
You ain't shit.
Probably started a grease fire. He's 34. Montez Ford is only 32. Montez Ford has nothing
Future
but
champion in WWE.
Nothing but green in front of him, man. He's got nothing but green in front of him. Open road. I'm rooting for him. And James Storm is 45.
Now you can do it.
Hey, everybody. We know there's tons of podcasts to listen to. So we appreciate you listening to our podcast. For Patriot Pat,
Check.
for Sideways in Time,
Check.
for Lucha Chris,
Check.
for Tender Mahal,
Check.
for Vice.
Double check.
What's going on, Vice? For Two Beer Zach Pullman.
Check.
For Jason Cornelius Bell.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Everybody remember to support your local weed dealers.
Check.
Support your local restaurants.
Double check.
Tip well.
Triple check.
Defund the police. My name is Bill
Check.
Vagey, and everybody boo the fucking heels.
Ooh, bitch.
Be like really, really sad that you didn't.
That I
And we
did.
probably never didn't delete it or didn't cut it out, and then like we'd never get to do the podcast again, and then we'd lose our jobs and our families. So
Man, people disappear all the time.
yeah.
Two Beer, it could be me and you, man. Don't worry about this motherfucker. He'll be all right.
You motherfuckers. I can't believe you fucking